Guys, so I went ahead and went down to Harbor Freight and I picked up these off-road fog lights, and I used a 20% off coupon that I got in the mail, and I got these for $12.35. So I've already got the whole wiring thing, the whole wiring harness, everything else all wired up. So this is how it would look already attached into the vehicle. And they actually give, I was a little bit worried about this because I opened up the package in the store and I looked at the power wire here and it looked a little bit short, but it's a solid 10 feet long. And then this is pretty much equal length, so they give you a fair amount of cord. And the nice thing too is I was looking at actually wasting more money, but there's already shrink wrap tubing on these, and you just hit it with a heat gun and it seals everything in there. But I'll walk you through what was in the box. And so everything's going to come in this styrofoam box. And so it comes with your relay right here. Just a simple on-off switch. And you're supposed to hold it on with this little double-sided adhesive pad. I don't know if I'm going to use that though. It might fall off sometime soon. And you got your mounting hardware right here. You got your brackets for the fog lights themselves. And the nice thing too is it comes with a built-in fuse. And so running from all the red wire, which is the power running out of the relay, this is going up into this master plug, which there's a small adapter right here, which then goes and plugs right into this one. And these black wires are your ground. And then you have this other fog light, which has the really long white cable. And that's running into the main, not the auxiliary. And that's it, really. And then you have your instruction manual, which it's I've seen better, but I've come to expect spotty instruction manuals coming from Harbor Freight. So, but it's a 6-page book. And you know, tells you what comes in, which I find it interesting. It shows you a list of replacement parts, rather than at the very end of the book it says there are no replacement parts for this book, or for this product. So that's how you assemble it, and then that's how you wire it. It took me a while to, I really had to get in close to see the fine print and all this, but I finally got it. So yeah, that's everything that comes in the box. So figure I'll show you real quick where I'm going to mount it and what vehicle it's going on. Alright, so we're outside now, and I'm at my truck right now. And so it's just a little Ford Ranger, but this is where I'm actually going to be mounting them, right here next to my license plate, because this is just wide enough that the bracket can fit on there, and then there's another space here on the other side as well. So I'm actually going to grab a bracket real quick and show you guys how the fitment will look. So that's how it will sit right there. So yeah, it's actually just wide enough because I didn't want to use the space up there by the grill, because I really want to put like a 24-inch LED light bar right here, and I didn't want to put anything here because I know it's adjustable, but I don't want anything in front of my headlights. So yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work nicely. Alright, so before I start drilling and starting this whole installation process, I figure I'll show you one of the fog lights really quick. So this is what they look like right here. Just the basic little fog lights you can find anywhere, really, but dirt cheap at Harbor Freight, of course. So it's actually a metal housing, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And then your bulb is back there. And yeah, gives you, typical safety information, and then this is, it shows you which way is top, which is handy as well, so, and then super beam down here. So it says they're supposed to be blue, I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, it says it right here on the box, Blue Glow Mini, so we'll see. I don't know, at the end of the video, if you guys have if anybody else is watching this who has the Harbor Freight off-road lights, the like oval shaped ones with the plastic guards on them, the ones for like how much were those, like $18 or $20 at Harbor Freight? If you could, let me know how they work, if they're effective at all, because I'm in plenty of situations here where I'm backing up and there's just not enough light. So I actually want to mount those lights on that bolt under there, underneath my bumper. So, and then just run another relay up into the cab. That way I can actually see where I'm going. I'm also looking at the flush-mounted A-series lights from Rigid Industries, and then just screwing those onto the bumper on the back, but I don't know, those are expensive, like $60 a piece, and they don't even come with a relay, so I don't know. But yeah, on with the installation process. I'm down here in my truck, and this is the location where I want to mount these, and I've already got these 3 holes drilled for the brackets. And when I first came out here to do this, I realized that there's just not enough clearance here for a traditional drill and the drill bits, so that's where the lovely vice grips come into play, and the fact that I'm glad I have a plastic bumper, because I squeezed the bumper down and simply rotated the bottom out just a little bit to get a little bit more clearance. So yeah, I'm not really worried about it scuffing or anything because it's plastic, and it's a beat up truck. So yeah, but anyway, you can see the holes line up. Let me flip this around actually, just like that. So the hardware, these are just the bolts, but this one is going through the center hole. There's a big one there, and then these small ones are going on the outside. So followed by lock washers and the appropriate nuts for them. Alright, you guys, that first bracket's on. And you got the lock washers and the bolts down below, or the nuts down below. And for the big one here, I just use the vice grips to hold the bottom in, because I just held these top ones here with the Phillips screwdriver, one of the short stubby ones. So that one's on, and then time to drill the holes and do the next one. Alright, I know I said I would do the other side first, but I went ahead and just put this on here to see how it looked and the fitment and whatnot. And that's it. So tightening this side down was easy, it's just this side that was tricky. So I had an extra drill bit for a Phillips head, and I just attached it to the vice grips and tightened it down like that. It took a while, but it's tightened now, so it's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, that's the fog light on there now. So I'm happy with the way it looks. It's low profile, you really can't see it from the side. So now I'm going to start working on that side. Alright, both fog lights are mounted now, right there and right there. And I'm going to leave them a little bit loose now, just so I can aim them correctly, however I want to do it, more towards the pavement or whichever. But yeah, that's what they look like. Like I said, nice and low profile, so looks pretty cool, I think. Yep, on with wiring. So we're back in the garage here, and I pulled my truck in since my dad's car is not here, so might as well work in the shade, right? So I'm currently grounding my cables for the fog lights. So I already have one grounded underneath the frame. This is the other one, and so it's a really awkward position, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film it, so I'm walking you through how I'm doing it. But I only have, out of the riveting kit I have, these are the only rivets I have left, and they're the 1/8 inch. So they're as you can see, too small. So I went down to Lowe's into the same area where I bought the riveting gun, and I bought these little washers for them that fit on there, and then it goes on top like so, and then this actually just sits up against the frame after I rivet it in place. So you know, I'm finding where I want to drill it, and take the hole punch of my hammer, put a hole punch in there, and drill a 1/8 hole through the frame, stick the rivet through, cinch it down, and it's grounded. So I'll try and squeeze in like an after shot or so and show you how it looks all mounted. There's the ground for the fog light right there in the frame with the rivet and the washer on top of the ground cable itself. So it's just like that on the other side, and I actually have everything wired out right now, really rough, because I found out the hard way multiple times. I've put everything in there nice and neat and everything else, and come to find out I didn't wire something correctly. So everything's really messy right now, but you know, big moment to see if it works. So, but there's the power cable right there. So moment of truth. I'm gonna set this thing down and let's see if it works and how bright they are. So here's the relay right there. There we go. Perfect. Well, it works. It's good. They're actually pretty bright. Let me see if I can. So I'm gonna probably go out and find a really dark road tonight, and you know, show you guys how dark they are in the real world at night, where they really count. So yeah, that's it. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in there nice and neat, and then tonight I'll go out somewhere up in the hills and try these out in the dark. Alright, so I finally got done wiring this thing, which was the most time-consuming part, because Ford decided to go ahead and put a ton of empty grommets on the F-150, but none on the Ranger. So it was either drill my own hole and wrap it in electrical tape the edges, or do what I did. And this is also part of, I thought the cabling was going to be long enough, but they put generous amounts of power cable, but not enough of the actual white cable. So it's running from the battery, which I'm going to try and find some way to wire it to the alternator so I don't risk draining my battery. But, so it's running here underneath this panel, and then I've got a piece of electrical tape underneath it, but it's underneath this weather stripping going right here. And this is literally, this is just, you know, it's super tight right now. That's how much cable, and it's, I mean, it was coming down to literally centimeters short. You know, they give you tons of cable for this other one, but that little tiny auxiliary cable right there, as you can see it pulling, that's not long enough. So they need to make a longer cable for that coming off of this fog light. If that was the case, I'd have a lot more cable to work with, but yeah. So that's why I mounted the switch. I just super glued it on there on both sides of that little foam pad, and after I took the backing off of it, I'm glad I did, because it wasn't really even sticky at all. So still flip it on, and they still work. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my panel. I got a metal panel over there on the workbench that goes underneath this one. So I'm gonna put all the panels back on and get it back to the way it was before. So, well, that's it, guys. That's everything's installed back to normal. So flip the switch and it still works. So yeah. So questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, I'll upload another video sometime soon, hopefully, probably of my new little generator over there, also from Harbor Freight. So look for a video for that, running and using some tools. So alright guys, I'll see you later. Alright you guys, so I found this is the closest little dark road I could find to my house without going too far out of my way. So right now I just have my parking lights on. I don't know if you can even pick those up, but there's my headlights. There's my brights. So I'm going to turn the lights off. And then here's the fog lights with the headlights and with the high beams. So they're not the brightest thing in the world. I mean, they look a little bit brighter than what I'm seeing on camera, but yeah, they're fog lights. You know, they're not off-road lights like I want to get, but yeah. So yeah. But alright guys, thanks for watching. Questions, comments, leave them down below, and if you're feeling generous, hit that like button, and yeah, thanks again for watching guys.